Alright, welcome back. Did a little teardown. As you can see, took the skid plate off and the links of the axial chassis. This is what the wheels look like mocked up on the these Hummer style rims. Pretty cool. The Titan body is super big. I didn't think it was that big, but these wheels might look stupid on it. So I do have these bigger ones, 2.2s. So right now what I'm going to do is, it's physically impossible to get my tranny onto the, well, it's not physically impossible. I could, it'd only be holding on with 2 bolts, which I don't find that very secure. So what I'm going to do is, I'm going to be cutting the Losi chassis right down the line here. And I will be sliding that up into the C channel here, and I'll be bolting it in. So then I'll have a proper skid. It's going to extend a little bit. As you can see, it's kind of hard to see on that side. Let's put it on this side for you. So if it sits in there, the skid will be a little lower. But it's going to work. It's going to work. So let's get to it. Alright guys, as you can see, the bottom of the Crwaler chassis has been cut out so I can salvage the skid plate, which is here. I took care of that, brought everything down. I notched out the SCX chassis, and lo and behold, it fits in there perfect like a glove. Technically what I was doing was I was aligning the axial logo with the middle of the chassis. Now I just got a drill. I'll probably just use the existing piloting holes that are there and put 4 bolts on each side. And well, 4 bolts. 1, 2, and on the other side. And I have to keep the external one for the links. So, we're getting somewhere. It kind of looks, well, it kind of looks custom. It is custom, but this skid plate's going to help a lot, just because the way it's configured and the way the lower links hook up to it was going to be too much of a jam on the stock one. And if I ever want to go back with a stock axial transmission, I have the skid plate over there. I'll just need to buy a rails, which I think are like 30 bucks. So, not that big of a deal. But we're getting somewhere. We're advancing in our project. So, let me keep wrenching. At least get some bolts in here so this will be secure. And see where I'm going from there. Hey guys, I'm back. I've been at this for maybe like an hour. As you can see, the shocks are at a wicked angle. I think I'm going to have to make custom links for the front. This is the rear. They're about right, except for the top ones aren't long enough. But I bought some aluminum, I was going to call it square tube. It's not at all. But it's like aluminum down, or whatever you want to call it. So I can make some longer upper links. I got the skid plate in, nicely bundled up. Kind of almost looks stock. It's kind of cool. And as you can see, the shocks are at a wicked angle. And I did go ahead and buy these guys, gearhead, and this will bring them pretty much parallel, which I like. Or I can adjust them later on. I could bring the truck jacked up even more, or lowered down, or there's a lot of adjustability with those. So right now I'm just going to put them on, try to get these perpendicular, and go from there. There's a lot of metal dust, or whatever you want to call it. So I'm going to maybe put my transmission in there, bundle up the drive shaft, and get my vernier, I think it's called, and start calculating what I'm going to need for a length of upper link, because I really want to tie it in to the chassis and the aluminum from the other chassis, the skid, instead of making another hole up here. And this, at the same time, I'm going to have to drill this out because that's where my rock sliders are gonna go. All stock plastic stuff for now, but at least I have it. I was thinking, like, you know, if I'm gonna build this up with the body and all that, it's gonna look stupid without rock sliders and a front bumper and all that. So at least I got that going. So let me continue and I'll be back. This is a custom build of SCX10 with Losi Crwaler parts, axles and transmissions, and let's move forward. You filming?
Yep.
Alright, so to the point I have to make links, but to do that I need my Christmas present from my girlfriend.
Well, no, you can't. Non, tu peux pas faire ça.
Holy crap! I think I've done a lot since the last little video, but got all the links in. This is technically what the truck looks like. I'm going to readjust these gear head things up a bit so the truck will be a little bit lower. I find it really high center gravity, but all in all, I had to use these fucking plastic links because I couldn't get the right length. And my Christmas present's there from my wife. I started to open it, I got in shit because we're not Christmas yet, so I had to use what I had offhand, and drilled a few holes in the chassis to accommodate the links that I had. Holes are drilled, ready for the rock sliders. I started trimming the body so I could get a good wheelbase, which I do. If it's off, it's not off by much. It's pretty much centered. It kind of looks funky right now because I got the back jacked up so much. But yeah, it's gonna look pretty cool actually. Alright, let me continue working. Right now I'm just rebuilding the drive shaft that broke. Well, that broke. I had to cut to get off because everything was like red Loctite. And I just put a shrink wrap over that so you don't really lose the pin if it does come loose. And down the road, a lot easier for maintenance. This is going to be a bitch if I ever have to get into the transmission because those are red Loctite. So I'll have to buy 2 more of those. And if you think about it, by the time I'm done buying all these drive shaft yokes, I could have just invested into another transmission and my PCVDs, really. But oh well, I'm using what I got, and that's the whole thing about this. Is I'm kind of recycling an old chassis that I would have never used with a new one, and probably transmission and differentials, which I would have never used. I would have just bought an axial and ran that, and this thing would have gathered dust. But I'd rather have something that nobody else has out there, or almost. But most of the clips that I've seen, they don't look half as clean as this, the way I set it up. And this is just a mock-up. I'll go over and I'll change out like screws and stuff that need to be longer with bolts on the other side to secure, like here. These are barely threading into the aluminum. I'll probably put bolts on there if they fit. And just go from there. Alright, let me continue. Maybe I can get this thing to turn over by the end of the night. But I've been working on it for maybe 2.5 hours. A lot of work. But it's a one-off, so it's worth it. Catch you guys soon. Alright guys, this is totally it for tonight. This is what the mock-up looks like. I gotta clean out the wheel wells on the Nissan Titan body there and set it down, and adjust the shocks too as well. I'd like for them to sit a little lower. The only thing I don't like is I'm gonna have to put holes in the windshield, put a body post, which suck. But all in all, she's mocked up. Pretty happy with it. I gotta put some stronger screws in here with bolts. This one popped out because it's just screwed into the aluminum, but I'm good to go. had a little test run. Fuck, they make a lot of noise, these gears. That's the only downside, but yeah, it's gonna be pretty cool. So I guess I'll catch you guys when we're gonna clean up the body and get the holes done and sit her on there. And this is it. This is making a custom one-off. You can't even really see the skid plate because of the rock sliders, but this is a custom one-off. Losi comp crawler, axles, and differential on a scalar chassis with a scalar body, and yeah, pretty stoked. Turned out pretty good. Spent like 6 hours doing this today. So cool. Catch you guys later. I'm back. Right now I'm just bundling up. This thing will focus. Come on. There you go. You can see the bolt right here with a lock nut on the other side. It's getting those on the rock sliders, and at the same time it's going through the skid that I made, so it's going to lock everything in there nice and tight. I got the other side to do. I started to configure the body. It's kind of weird. I gotta, like, the holes are a little off, so the front end and everything looks straight, and the, you know, the wheels are aligned, and it's off by, you know, 1/10 of a thousand on the vernier, which probably won't show to the, you know, the naked eye. But you know, I wanted to get everything nice and square, but I want it to look square as well. That's another thing. And I was looking at these. These are the adjustable things on the shocks for the Losi kit. If I'm not mistaken, they would actually fit on here, which is kind of weird. It would give me more of a length. Anyway, so they're in my pile of parts. But so far so good. I got some crazy glue. I'm gonna glue up the tires, not all the way around. I'm just gonna dab it in like 4 spots, so if I ever want to put weights in there or whatever, I can just boil them and knock off one side. So that's where I'm at right now. So I'm pretty satisfied with the build so far. Everything's looking pretty well. Just those links there, the plastic ones, I do not like. But our presents there, can't open it yet till Christmas, and then I'll make some custom links and stuff like that, which would be pretty cool. But I'm stoked. Making a scaler for you guys, and for me, obviously. Long wheelbase, but very cool. Alright, let me continue.